Ben, Liam and Belle's Show and Tell.
G'day there, podcaster. This is another Show and Tell, and today's is Liam.
Never has there been more pressure on a man. I recently watched this documentary, The Rise and Fall and Rise Again of Elvis Presley, and it was all about his 68 comeback special, and it was kind of washed, and it was kind of like his last opportunity to be cool again. And I kind of feel like this is my 68 special right now. I'm aware that, last time my Show and Tell wasn't everyone's favourite. So I sort of, I need a big one. Otherwise I'm washed and I may as well not even come in next time. So.
Feel the pressure, mate.
Yeah, mate. It's here.
I'm excited because I was a big believer in your last one. I'm a defender till I die.
Yeah, you are. And I appreciate
hold that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, right.
So he's got a bit of a tube.
There's a tube. Now, I understood that I feel like nostalgia seems to be a bit of a winner here, because obviously Ben had some gear in there. He had his diary yesterday, and then it was the gloves, which are familiar from that. So I've sort of had a bit of a dig through the archives, and I have here, yes, the poster for Ben and Liam's big night of witty banter.
That's so cool. You still have that.
Adelaide Fringe. That was at the start of 2014, I believe. It says on one side, Ben's mum, this is real good gear, quote, and then it says, the banter is pongin', Liam's mum. That is untrue. We actually just wrote those quotes. And this is also when I wanted to be Noel Fielding, obviously. That's why I'm wearing very, very tight jeans and snakeskin Cuban heels. And you can see my midriff, which is, I don't know, it's a different time for me.
Naughty.
And I have very straightened hair.
Have you signed it on the bottom?
I have not signed it.
Can you please sign? Can you both sign it?
Well, no, because it's for
Liam.
Liam,
It's
so why would he
Liam's,
sign if it's for himself?
don't give
Yeah, so that was on the 19th of Feb. It would have cost you $21 to see the boys back then.
Oh,
21
wow.
bucks. And guess what? Sold out first night.
Hey.
Second night, very shit. First night, literally thought, maybe I'm Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
Second night, I was like, I need to rethink what I want to do.
Yeah. Well, the problem with the second night, the first night was great. Second night, it was tough because we had the radio show, so people who knew us from the radio show came to watch it, which is awesome. But they were almost treating it like it was a radio show where they could participate, or they were trying to get involved. So especially these people in the front row had a lot to drink. And every time we were trying to set up jokes for stand-up, they would almost try and preempt the punchline. They would yell out what they think it's going to be or whatever, and it was it killed momentum.
Or there was
every
a lot of
time.
in-jokes from the show. So it was imagine if we were doing a stand-up show right now and someone's like, Plinth, how are you going, Gob? And you're like, oh, yeah, so there's a thing. And you just can't even explain it because it's so if you know, you know, and if you don't, you don't. But since I was in the poster cabinet, we also do have Liam Stapleton's Comedy Bonanza here from the year before.
I like it. Am I right in saying the quality of that one's less than
Yes, I forked out less for this. This is just paper.
Yeah.
So this is featuring Lee Quirben, Eddie Bannon, Thomas Green, and Big Al, who I actually did the show with before Ben. Big Al.
Yeah, Liam and Big Al.
Yeah, so same spot, the Salisbury Institute. Which
Great
is,
lineup of local comics.
Yeah, no, very funny. Eddie Bannon actually went on years later. He did Mix Breakfast for a little bit. And he worked at ABC. And I also don't know if you remember this one, Ben, but this was
Next Gen.
the Next Generation comedy, so every year Adelaide Comedy would pick, whatever, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I'm bad at counting. People who they thought were the next generation. They didn't pick too well with this one.
I was just going to say, I've seen a good one.
No, there's not. Yeah, I mean, there's a few really funny people in here, but I'm just more referring to us. We didn't really do much in the stand-up world.
You're separate, so it was when you were Ben Harvey on stage, and then Liam
we didn't go up.
Stapleton
We didn't go up as
Ben
and Liam. No.
Yeah, and so this was.
You noticed that I got the first billing.
Yep, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Are you
Pretty
sure
cool.
it's not alphabetical?
It's definitely
I'm pretty
on.
sure.
No,
it's not.
No, it's not. Well
got
done.
a D down here. Lewis Garnham, you'd know Lewis.
Yeah.
So we've
school
done
with
some
him.
stuff.
Yeah.
You went to school with Lewis Garnham? Marrickville? No, Unley High. Yeah.
Cool.
Nicholas Huntley, I don't know
Still
these days. I think he might still dabble in it. He used to crack me up.
Yes. And there's Emily Grace, who there's obviously a pub called Grace Emily as well.
Oh,
So I don't know if that's her real name. Vaughan Henderson, Daniel Shapik, and Josh Warrior as well, who actually I remember messaging on Facebook recently.
I think he's still in the scene.
Yeah,
as well.
he's a nice guy.
Where was that?
This was at the Rhino Room.
Yeah,
beer
the
garden.
old Rhino Room, though.
Going back. Also had some really good shows at this one. And had some really shitty shows.
It's funny with that one because that one's kind of because it's obviously a bunch of comics put together for a show.
Yeah.
It would go really well. It wouldn't go great, but either way, you were definitely performing. And then I loved that as a young stand-up, you're excited to get the stage time, but you never got paid for it. And they were selling tickets for it, so they were making money on that show, but you were doing it for free.
Yeah, I actually remember seeing other people like, damn it, I want to be the next generation next year. And you're like, this is actually a bit of a rough gig here. I'm like, I'm performing for free in a beer garden every night.
For 4 people.
Yeah, literally.
Aw,
Yeah.
Can I ask where those posters were getting kept? Like, I would not have been able to.
Rolled up in this tube here, and they're just like in the back of the wardrobe. They sort of
That's
sit,
so
like,
cool,
yeah,
dude.
Sort of sit
What
back
was the
there,
best
so-
show out of all of those 3, do you reckon?
Big Night of Whiffy Banter Night 1.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Which
that
was filmed. It was
Yeah,
filmed.
it was filmed.
I don't know where the footage is.
And there was like a bit, because I think we talked about it. Oh, yeah, no, I think we talked about it on the podcast, didn't we? Because remember how that was the show that we're talking about recently because I was the fire warden at Fresh.
Yeah.
And so I was like, and there was like there was a smoke machine that went off at interval because I'd left one of the straighteners on and there was a fire.
Backstage.
And also at the start of the show, I checked under everyone's seats for dirty bombs.
Dirty bombs,
I did a sweep because I was, that was
That's your job.
But yeah, no, it was actually quite fun. That was good. And I also think I look back at that and I'm like, God damn, we had some moxie. I'd be terrified to do that right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, would you ever go back to getting up on stage?
Not in the distant, maybe in the distant future, but not in the near future, I would
Yeah.
say. We did another show. We did when we were at Triple J. We did a thing at the Rhino Room as well.
Yeah.
Did a couple of nights there. Just remember that? You, me, and like James McCann.
Yeah.
Who's James McCann? If you've ever seen him doing great things at the moment, he's on Kill Tony recently. But yeah, no, that's going back a few years now.
I always loved getting on stage, and you definitely ponder doing it again, but I also do not miss the anxiety of you have a gig coming up.
It's so scary. Like it when you're just like, oh yeah, that's that thing coming up. Like I hope that goes well. And I did a lot of footy clubs in the end, and they were. You definitely found out where you stood pretty quick with, like, do you know what I mean? You do like a beer garden in the Fringe, and everyone's like, like I support comedy. But you go to Wirrala, population of 80, and do a footy club, and you're wearing that shit that I was wearing in that poster. Not good. Not good, man. You're not good. But it did prepare me for dogs abuse in years to come in our radio career. So it's like, you have to have thick skin when you're starting out.
So is the vibe just nostalgia now for show and tell? Like,
No,
is
that's whatever you
that...
want.
just bring something that you want to talk
Mine's
about.
not nostalgic.
No? Okay.
But judging from the questions, I think we can all agree at a return to form.
Yeah.
Yep.
That
I'll give you
implies
that.
that you had form in the first place. But
Yes, it's true. I have
A run on the board.
I've got a run on the board.
you're back to
Thank
back
God.
level. Yeah.
Thank God. I appreciate that, guys. Well, yeah. I look forward to seeing what the rest of you have to bring in, and yeah, it doesn't have to be nostalgia; it can be whatever you want.
Yeah.
But obviously not a sporting team kit though, because traditionally they don't go down too well. Well, Tina, I mean, do it if you want, but people are not going to like it.
And they might.
Well, we'll see.
Not allowed.
And that's it!
Like that podcast? There's heaps more to listen to if you just scroll back or download the Nova Player app.
Ben, Liam, and Belle.